Welcome to the Baltimore Arts Scene, where you'll get a sneak peek at all kinds of art growing in Baltimore's creative communities. From the new in town to the underground, there's everything from dance, music, theater, fashion, galleries, and more. And we're here to let you know so you can get out and go, be a part of the Baltimore Arts Scene. So here's the thing, our intro will be a little longer than what you've just seen, and in it we'll take you on a journey to the creative hotspots in Baltimore. But being that this is our pilot episode, we haven't had a chance yet to hear from you about the places you see art growing in Baltimore. Now the sooner you get that to us, the better, or else we're stuck with this to fill the time. So hit us on Facebook, our website, just shoot us an email, let us know what's up. I'm gonna need you to put a rush on that.
Welcome to our first edition of the Baltimore Arts Scene. Today's episode shines a light on the vibrant and diverse dance community in and around Baltimore. On November 16th, Theater Project held its Autumn Dance Mixer, which showcased 7 of Baltimore's most outstanding modern and contemporary dance companies. Didn't know Baltimore had 7 dance companies? Well, now you know. And these lucky 7 put on quite a show in Theater Project's intimate house of 150, which was jam-packed with creative energy and enthusiastic crowds. To say the audience members were pleasantly surprised is an understatement.
I have to say, I wasn't surprised, I was moved.
The new artistic director of Center Stage was on hand to host this exciting event.
Welcome to the Baltimore Arts Scene. We are here with Kwame.
Kweyama.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you said it and not me.
When I came to Baltimore, one of the first things I asked was, is there a vibrant dance scene? To which you answered, yes!
Directors of the program created an informal and informative setting which allowed audience members to give brief written feedback for each piece presented in hopes to further stimulate the choreographer's work and fully engage the viewers. Program's organizers were Vincent Taylor, Sonia Sinkowski, and Ann Fulweiler, artistic director of Theater Project, who had a vision of bringing dancers and companies together to highlight their work and develop new audiences and dance lovers who would continue to support this growing community.
Hosting the Theater Project's Autumn Dance Mixer. What are your thoughts? First time seeing dance in Baltimore. What did you think?
I'm trying not to make this sound condescending because I don't mean it to be, but I know very little about Baltimore dance, and I came here tonight and I was amazed. I was amazed and inspired. I tweeted at least 20 times, just going, wow. I think that was my key word for tonight, wow.
So what does it make you think about when you look at the dance scene and the art scene in Baltimore and exposing more dance to the theater audience as well?
What I can say immediately, I started thinking, how can I get dance programmed? Not just dancers in musicals, but how can I get dance programmed into the theater?
An impressive night of dance from 7 uniquely creative companies, including VT Dance, Full Circle Dance Company, Effervescence Collective, Deep Vision Dance Company, With Heart Dance Projects, The Collective, and my very own company, Dance and Be More. We had a chance to sit with the artistic directors who got a little more in depth about their companies and their work.
My piece had 3 distinct segments. One was about the sex trade with a prostitute, a young child who was pushed into prostitution, and then a madam who cared only about herself and the business. The second section was entirely about the emotional and physical things that happen to women across the globe simply because they are women. It might involve the difficulties with childbirth. It might involve difficulties with abuse and the struggles and the strife that women deal with. But the entire piece had to do with the underlying theme of, despite all that we as women may go through, there's a running theme of beauty. And so the very last section was all about the pride that we have because we are women, the inner strength that we have to muster because we are women, having confidence in ourselves and knowing ourselves. And we're pretty doggone good.
The original work was done in the round with a pretty elaborate set design, and to be able to see the work in a different space. And I got feedback that other things started becoming noticeable with the work. The relationship between the dancers and space and stillness and movement. So some of those things that might have been covered up through the original work kind of came out.
Effervescent Collective is a dance-making organization that's interested in the power of movement in society. And we are all dancers and movers that live in the city, and we're focused on making and sharing dance in the city. We presented Try My Mustache, which was our nickname for 2 3-minute improvs performed with improvised music. We've made a transition to working on performing improvisations as part of an effort to take elements of the vernacular dance or folk dance experience and incorporate them with elements of contemporary dance. It really helped us understand more about why we think that's important and figure out what we can do to really upgrade that improvisational performance to be at the same level of our choreographed work.
Inner Palette is a solo work I originally created on myself. Inner Palette is a rich emotional journey of a woman sifting through the complex layers of the psyche with the question, can she accept her personal composition? I'm really interested in immersing the audience into some kind of unique world, place, environment. I want them to go on a journey, and I want them to step back, keep playing the work in their head, and create their own idea about what they believe the work is to be about. Collaboration, creating environments that foster future collaborations is of utmost concern for us as well. We have monthly improvisation jams where adults in the community come and dance and play and sing and share the artistry with others.
Dance and Be More is a new contemporary dance company with a very strong commitment to community engagement. In our performance pieces, we have a very wide and eclectic style and range of movement, very theatrical in nature. We fuse many creative disciplines together on stage, from spoken word to live vocals, instrumentation, original music, visual arts. The piece we presented is called The Birth. It's a work in progress, asking the question of when is our creativity born? When do we become or start to birth that sense of being a writer, of being a poet, of being a singer, of having these talents and these gifts that come to you? And at what point are those things birthed, nurtured, fostered, and grow into who we are going to be as artists? There's always a positive and negative force that pulls on us regardless of our gifts. And how does that affect us? How does that affect the people around us that we are creative with, that we collaborate with? And where does that pull us? Using a mother of creativity to nurture and care for those children, and then seeing what happens when they go out to discover themselves and other forces are at work pulling on them in one way or another.
I had been writing this text, this poem, which turned out to be this poem about shadows, which is looking at essences of masculinity or manhood from a historical place. Who are the masculine figures that we stood in the shadows of?
Marley, Nixon, Neft, Fela, Belafonte, Invisible.
The animators are just really grounded in goodness and intrigue and curiosity and just this awareness of where we are socially as people, as a community, as and ways to move forward in a proactive sense.
The collective is really essentially a hub for professional dancers and choreographers. When I think of the collective, I think of gathering together professionals who have chosen to make Baltimore a part of their home, and getting those professionals together to produce new work, to collaborate with each other, to collaborate with other artists in the area, and to have a home for professional dance for dancers and choreographers in the region. The collective in its current state has been in existence since 1999 and auditioning dancers since that time, so it's really grown and developed into a place that can be a staple for dance in Baltimore. The Dance Mixer was truly a collaborative effort. The idea to promote dance and to promote dance at the Theater Project came from Anne, who is the director of the Theater Project.
Just having the dancers themselves come together and see one another's work and feel that there's a real strength in the community, I think is going to give us a great lift up when we present a lot more work in the spring.
And what else is on the horizon for Theater Project?
We have everything from a new musical, Brooklyn, to a one-woman show about Muslim women that will be premiering here in December. It's just played to sell out audiences in Chicago and San Francisco. So we do always have a lot of theater and dance. We've got opera coming up in the new year and lots of play readings and inexpensive pass-the-hat events.
As you can see, there's a full and diverse 2012 season coming up at Theater Project. And if the Autumn Mixer is a preview of that, then you're in for a real treat. Coming up on our next episode of TBAS, a family-friendly performance party featuring cast members of Disney's The Lion King, along with a local stilt-walking, hula-hoop-loving creative community bringing their own unique circle of life. So until next time, go on out and explore, because there is so much more to the Baltimore art scene.